are ready to pull back the curtain. And here we are. Welcome everyone. We're Sue and Dwight, and this is Living Room Live, if you're joining us for the first time. We are working with a theme tonight that's called This and That. And we started off with an idea that it would just be kind of, you know, a mixture of songs, this and that. And then Lauren actually pointed out to us that, hey, you've got a lot of songs that have the word this or that in the title, so we've incorporated that into the night as well. And we're
really
going to
technical on you guys.
yeah, so we're going to start off with a song that has this in the title. It's Ain't No Passenger on This Train. Ain't no passenger on this train. Ain't no passenger on this train. Stop the suffering, heal the pain. Ain't no passenger on this train. Worn out children, get on board this train of life and hear it roar. No time for sitting on your hands. We're to reach the promised land. Ain't no passenger on this train. Ain't no passenger on this train. Stop the suffering, heal the pain. Ain't no passenger on this train. Worn out children,
talking to you.
There's just so much work to do. Trains are rolling, hear its cry. You can't let it pass you by. Ain't no passenger on this train. Ain't no passenger on this train. Stop the suffering, heal the pain. Ain't no passenger on this train. Glory, glory, hallelujah. There's no telling what we might do. Get together, take a stand by you together. Lend a hand. Ain't no passenger on this train. Ain't no passenger on this train. Stop the suffering, heal the pain. Ain't no passenger on this train. Ain't no passenger on this train. Ain't no passenger on this train.
So, there's the this.
What's that?
There's the this of the evening.
I almost forgot my train whistle.
So just picture that at the beginning of the song, and it'll all make a lot more sense
this and that.
than that. Yeah.
I kind of messed up your solo part a little. I was playing the old solo version back up. Sorry about that.
Oh, I thought I covered it masterfully.
Yeah,
I bet
you did.
Folks didn't
You
even
did. I
notice,
bet
right?
they hardly even noticed my gaffe.
So we've had one this. It looks like we're going to do two thises in a row before we get to a that and then a dat. But before we do, as you all know, Sue loves to, and of course appropriately, likes to welcome everybody as individually as possible to the show.
So I'm going to take a quick look in the chat here on Facebook to see who's joining us, and I see that Martin from Bowen Island, BC
First in the house again,
first
Martin.
in the
Boy,
house.
You've got the good parking spot again.
He got good parking for sure. And we've got Gail joining us from Burlington, and we have Doug and Sharon from sunny East York here
Also
in
good
Toronto.
parking spot.
We have Linda and John in Illinois. Diane and John in Roncy Village here in Toronto, Gail tuning in from Toronto, and Gail from Scarborough, and Diana's joining us tonight from here in Toronto, and Sandra from here in Toronto. We've got Egan from here in Toronto, Toronto is well represented in the house.
Goodness. They
And
like their this and that's, or dis and dats, as you're going to find out a little later.
And we've got Charles joining us from Bonnie, Scotland, and Jan from Tennessee.
Oh my
And
goodness. Hey,
Dennis
Jan.
is home with Gail tonight. He didn't have to work tonight, so welcoming Dennis from Burlington as well. And we've got Peggy from Iowa, and Audrey from Maple Ridge, BC, and Kim joining us from Port Orchard in Washington. That always conjures up such a beautiful scene.
It
sounds so
beautiful.
pretty.
Those West Coast names.
Yes.
Nothing against the Illinois or the Midwest names. I think being from the Midwest, the names are ourselves. Our names are always seemed functional, right? You get on the coast, especially the West Coast, it's always like, ooh,
Hey, I'm going to
idyllic.
lose my feed if I don't keep rolling here. We've got Sherry, she's back in San Pedro, California. And we've got Arlene from Maple Ridge, BC. And Brenda from beautiful downtown East York here in Toronto. And Annie from near Edmonton. And and Shannon. Oh, we've got
Bakerville, right?
hello from Bonnie Brantford. It's the last day of school, so Abby can watch the whole show tonight. Hey, Abby, congratulations on graduating from school for the summer. And Abby's probably is our youngest viewer, I think. So we've got Shannon, Tom, and Abby in Brantford.
There is synergy there because Bonnie Brantford is not far from Bonnie Hamilton, Ontario, and Charles,
He lives in Bonnie Hamilton, Scotland.
Bonnie Hamilton, Scotland.
So lots of Bonnies tonight.
Bonnie Laguna Beach, right there.
And we've got
Illinois.
Marg joining us from here in Toronto. Long time no see, she says. We've got Debbie from Campbell River, BC. Deborah from New Jersey. This is wonderful. We've got people from all over, which is always lots of fun. And over on YouTube, I see that we have our San Diego Barb tuning in tonight. And we have greetings from Mickey, Mark, and Eleanor from Minnesota.
Wonderful. Good to see
and they
all
have
three of you.
cousin Mike Leonard from California. So isn't that nice? They have
Welcome, cousin
welcome
Leonard. You're
some
in very
family.
good company out there in Minnesota. Absolutely.
All right, well, we're going to keep things going with a song that it also has this in the title, a song that I wrote 2 years ago now. Still appropriate today. It's called How Do We Get Out of This Mess? How do we get out of this mess when the whole damn world's on fire? Society crumbling from unrest, situation dire. We need to wake up before it's too late and it burns beyond repair. We need a shake-up before it's too late, or does anybody care? How do we get out of this mess when we're fighting a losing battle? Environment is under duress, situation fragile. We need to clean up before it's too late and we cannot breathe the air. We need a shake-up before it's too late, or does anybody care? How do we get out of this mess where some people's lives don't matter, with some treated worse than all the rest, situations sadder? We need to step up before it's too late and demand a world that's fair. We need a shake-up
before it's too late?
Or does anybody care? Does anybody care?
Is anybody there?
Does anybody know what to do? How do we get out of this mess when the whole damn world's on fire? Society crumbling from unrest, situation dire. We need to wake up before it's too late and it burns beyond repair. We need a shake up before it's too late. Or does anybody care? We need to clean up before it's too late and we cannot breathe the air. We need to step up before it's too late and demand a world that's fair. We need to shake up before it's too late. Or does anybody care? How do we get out of this mess? If anyone has the answers, get out there and ask for them. Ask for
Well,
it
that's
to be done.
quite a call to
I know it is a
action.
call to action, isn't it?
Anybody got some answers?
After the show.
Tell somebody about them.
Tell somebody about what we can do
don't
to
tell
solve
us.
all
What
those
are we gonna do
problems.
with it? What are we going to do with it? Write a song about it?
Well, that's kind of sometimes, when you feel a little bit helpless because things are just too big and too complicated in the world. Sometimes writing a song does kind of make you feel a little bit better because at least you're thinking, oh, I'm kind of helping to spread a message maybe.
Well, they do say take the problem, break it down into simple, easy pieces, and give the pieces to somebody else to fix. I think that's the way good constructive problem solving goes. And then you just manage. You be the puppet master.
Wouldn't it be great to be able to do that?
Yeah. So we started out in this section today. No, they're not all going to be this and that's. We've got actually a couple of
In other interesting ones.
other interesting songs, but we do have some that's, and I think we're moving into the.
This is
we're
a
moving
that.
into the that's. Yes,
Yeah.
this is a that.
And
So a song has a little more optimism than Sue's than the mess song, but it's all about how you look at things and always retaining that youthful wonder. When we were at the exhibitions and we would go out, we'd come off the big ride and say, wow, wasn't that a thrill? Let's do it again. Why don't we look at life like that? Say life's hard and then you die. Don't let it punch you in the eye. You gotta laugh, ain't no use to cry, 'cause crying's just a losing game. For every bad there's many a good. It just depends on how you look. You're the chef, you're the cook, and hear that little voice say, wasn't that a thrill? Life's just a game. Don't take it hard and you'll stay sane. Go for the ride, be glad you can, and make every single moment count. Now if you're lucky you get 15 of fame. People stop you, remember your name. Enjoy the spotlight, it ain't no shame. Take it while it's yours to hold. Well, if you're not, then join the crowd. Living in fear, dying in doubt. A lifetime circus, the jester's bout. You're sitting in the very front row, wasn't that a thrill? Life's just a game. Don't Don't take it hard and you'll stay sane. Go for the ride, be glad you came, and make every single moment count. Dramatic key change. That was. So here's the purpose of this little song. Life is short, we ain't got too long. We'll make it count, you won't go wrong. The truth is often in your hands. As you look back from your rocking chair, a few more wrinkles, some gray in hair. Look back on life without a care. Remember, you just gotta say, wasn't that a thrill? Life's just a game. Don't take it hard and you'll stay sane. Go for the ride, I'm glad you came, and make every single wasn't that a thrill? Life's just a game. Don't take it hard and you'll stay sane. Go for the ride, I'm glad you came, and make every single everybody. Na 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 na, and make every single wasn't that a thrill? Na 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 na, and make every single moment count, and make every single moment count, and make every single moment count. Wasn't that a thrill? Yeah.
Oh, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a minute just before we go on to this next song, which I'm very excited about actually. And just because I see I've got a little bit more of a window I can check out here to see who's joined us. I see we have Gwen joining us from Toronto, and we've got Diana joining us from Montreal, and Colin from out west in BC, and I think that's all I can see for now. And then over on YouTube, we still have the same names showing there. So we don't know you're there if you don't leave a comment. But I do know that some people tune in very regularly and aren't able to comment. So I'll say hello to Marianne and Kathy and Dennis and Renata. And I know some folks.
Rick.
And Rick, and some folks tune in after the show on the replay. We've got Steve's usually joining in on the replay, and Randy and Darcy.
Robin,
and
if
Robin.
she's not in the house.
So welcome everyone. So this next song, I'm so excited about
we're
this.
still in the DAT file.
Yes. Well, when we were thinking of songs to play for this, for some reason this song popped into my head, and then Dwight said, I happen to have the 45 of this. So I'm going to show it to you. See if you recognize it. Gimme Dat Ding.
Boy, look at that.
That's a classic.
Let's see, and it's a capital. That's a real one.
A real.
And I bet you, I've kept it for 50 years. I probably paid 45 cents for it, and I bet you it's worth $5 now. I just think of that return on investment.
Look, that's not bad. But,
who needs the stock market and Bitcoin when you can have Gimme Dat Ding by the Pipkins?
By the Pipkins, that's what I was going to point out as well. The group called the Pipkins. I didn't do a ton of research on this song because there was all sorts of information, but I just love the name the Pipkins, and it turns out they weren't really a band. They kind of formed to record this song, but I'm very excited about it. So here we go for the first time ever. Gimme Dat Ding.
And Dad, of course, is
that. I think they would have caught on.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Okay.
sad and blue, 'cause I can't do the boogaloo. Well, I'm lost, can't do my thing. That's why I sing, gimme that ding.
Gimme that, gimme that, gimme that, gimme that ding, gimme that, gimme that, gimme that ding, gimme that, gimme that, gimme that ding.
Sing it one more time.
Gimme that, gimme that, gimme that, gimme that ding, gimme that, gimme that, gimme that ding, gimme that, gimme that, gimme that ding. What good's a metronome without a bell for ringing? How else can anybody ever tell he's swinging? How can you tell the rhythm written on the bar? How can you ever hope to know just where you are? Give me that, 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 give me that ding, give me that, give me that, give me that ding, give me that, give me that, give me that ding.
Oh, you go now.
What good's a metronome without a bell for ringing? How else can anybody ever tell he's swinging? How can you tell the rhythm written on the bar? How can you ever hope to know just where you are? Give me that,
Give me that,
give me that,
give me that.
give me that, 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 give me that ding, give me that, give me that, give me that ding, give me that, give me that, give me that ding. Give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that ding, give me that, give me that, give me that ding, give me that, give me that, give me that ding.
That's right.
So do you think the being housebound is getting to us? A few months ago we did Mana Mana, which
Well,
we'd never done before.
You know what I
And-
think we're doing is I think we are slowly building a novelty song spotlight. Perhaps I don't know that somebody suggested that last month, and maybe that's something that's going to happen.
You know, and what is, Sue didn't mention some of the backstory in that, but the co-writer of that song was Albert Hammond. And Albert Hammond wrote It Never Rains in Southern California. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's-
Same songwriter, totally different song. Kind of reminds you of Chip Taylor. Wrote Wild Thing, but also wrote Angel of the Morning. If you're a good songwriter, you can write
You can write all kinds of
all
things.
kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of songwriters, I'm not going to put myself in that class of good songwriters with Chip Taylor and Albert Hammond, but I am a songwriter, and I'm always looking for ideas of things to write songs about. And as many of you know, I'm part of an online poetry group, and a few weeks ago, we were talking, I forget what the theme, I think the theme was the moon that week. And one of the poets in the group said that his mother used to always say, Norman's in the moon again. And what she meant by that was that he was a dreamer, and he would be lost in the moon. And I just loved that expression, so I wrote it down in my little book. And then a few days later, I thought, you know what, I'd like to write a song about this. So I wrote it, and so this is like brand spanking new. It's less than 2 weeks old. I did play a very early rough version for my poetry group last week or so, 2 weeks ago, I guess, when I first wrote it. And Dwight and I have been kind of tooling around with it, and so you're going to hear sort of the first public version of this song. It's called Norman's in the Moon Again. Just get ready here.
One.
little boy with big dreams beyond the family farm. Backpack full of art supplies and a guitar on his arm. When he sees things that are beautiful, he captures them with paint. Mama always says Norman's in the mood again. As he grew up, his dreams stayed strong and he made a happy life. A home filled with music, children, and a loving wife. Shared with them his love of all within them to create. Mama always says Norman's in the mood again. In the mood again, surrounded by the stars. Music, words, and colors take him far away. In the mood again, a dreamer lost in space. Norman knows that art can make the world a better place. Norman's still a dreamer, and he's happy on his farm, writing poems, painting pictures, telling stories in his songs. He sings about the things he sees and hopes to make some change. Mama's still saying Norman's in the mood again. In the mood again, surrounded by the stars. Music, words, and colors take him far away. In the mood again, a dreamer lost in space. Norman knows that art can make the world a better place. In the mood again, surrounded by the stars. Music, words, and colors take him far away. In the mood again, a dreamer lost in space. Norman knows that art can make the world a better place. And Mama just smiles 'cause her Norman's in the mood again.
There you go, making its Living Room Live debut. Way to go, Norm. I hope you're out there this evening. And what a nice song, Sue. Nicely done.
Thank you.
That's pretty, like Sue was saying. We've been tooling with that one. Heard that word too often, but not for very long,
No.
just for a couple of weeks. We were both kind of pleased with the way that's been coming together. So, way to go. Hope you enjoyed it, and going to hear lots of new music over the.
Yes, we're getting inspired to write more and more lately. Oh,
We tell you some more things. We have
Yes.
more songs coming up, but we better do this first.
we
right?
better do that
Martin,
first.
you all ready?
Everybody
Peggy,
ready with
you all
their
ready?
with their kalimbas?
Robin, if you're here.
because this means it's time for Poetry Corner. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, Poetry Corner is just a little segment in the middle of our show where I read a poem that I've written. As I mentioned just before the last song, I'm part of an online poetry group. It's something wonderful that came out of the pandemic. It was something I've never done before. I'd never written poetry, but got this opportunity to join this group and have been just writing like a madman. Every week we get together and we write and read our poems to each other. Now we usually have a prompt that we write to so that we can just to help get the juices going. And this past week the prompt was the ocean. If you have the notion to take a dip in the ocean, please heed my warning. My first dip was during a trip on a beautiful sunny morning. A beach on Cape Cod Bay, avoid the sun at midday, was our host's only warning. They didn't know I'd been to see a show just 1 week before traveling. 1975 was the year, and the world was in fear. That summer, Jaws hit theaters. In my red, white, and blue Speedo, tentatively posed for a photo, kneeling in the water. After that, I don't recall if I went back in the water at all, or timidly sat on the beach, watching while others would swim, scanning the water for fins, keeping track of the heads of each. So here is my warning. If you have plans to go swimming, some advice before you embark. If you have the notion to go in the ocean, do not watch a film about sharks. Little ominous, spooky notes there. That is a true story. In 1975, I went to see the movie Jaws, and a week later, our family was visiting relatives in Priscilla Beach, which is just near Martha's Vineyard. And I was terrified to go in the water, but I did. I have a picture of me standing and sort of kneeling in the water tentatively.
I imagine all of us have Jaws memory. I remember I went to see it with my buddies at the Capitol Theatre in Winnipeg, and we were sitting in the back row on the orchestra. And it was an old theater they'd renovated, so of course they put stucco on the back wall. And when at one point in the movie, they were doing that's it, right? 2 chords, 2 notes. And a head came out of a hole in a boat, and we all went against the stucco. Like, whoa. And, being teenagers, we laughed like crazy, We didn't really
Sustaining some kind of head injury is pretty funny.
Or did we have a concussion? But anyway, so hey, share your Jaws moments with us, folks.
Yeah, let us know what you did that summer. Did you stay out of the water? So Dwight's going to play us out of Poetry Corner. And I'm going to take just a moment before we move on to the next song, just to let folks know that we don't charge a cover charge for our online shows, because we want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable tuning in regardless of their situation. But we do have an online tip jar which can be found at our website, sueanddwight.com. And when you go there after the show, you'll see that there's an open guitar case photo, and if you click on that, it'll take you to some information about credit, debit, PayPal, e-transfer, and even our mailing address if you prefer checks. So thank you in advance if you're in a position to be able to visit our tip jar. We appreciate it very much. Now this next song actually
it gets us back, keeps us in the VAT file.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was glad to hear that Doug and Sharon were listening tonight, because we owe this song to Doug. Doug was always when we used to play at the Cameron, he was, I'm pretty sure, Doug, you were the one that introduced us to Phil Oakes.
Oh, he absolutely was. Yeah.
And then after we learned a whole bunch of his songs, Doug keeps coming up with, hey, now you should think about this one. And of course, he's always spot on.
And this is probably still my favorite now of all the Phil Oakes songs, because we just learned this one a couple of years ago.
During Living Room Live.
Yeah. And we just love it. It's called What's That I Hear? And what I especially love about this is it's kind of uncharacteristic optimism from Phil Oakes, because he's a very incredible activist, and his music all reflects that. And some of his music is extremely cynical and rightly so. But this particular song, I always feel like it just generates a lot of hope.
It's his Billy Mumphrey moment. Cockeyed optimist.
Cockeyed optimist.
Can't go through a day, right,
without a
quoting
Seinfeld reference.
Oh, my goodness. Or the Big Lebowski, right, Earl? The Dude Abides.
I hear now ringing in my ear. I've heard that sound before. What's that I hear now ringing in my ears? I hear it more and more. It's the sound of freedom calling, ringing up to the sky. It's the sound of the old ways falling. You can hear it if you try. You can hear it if you try. What's that I see now shining in my eyes? I've seen that light before. What's that I see now shining in my eyes? I see it more and more. It's the light of freedom shining up to the sky. It's the light of the old ways dying. You can't see it if you try. You can't see it if you try. What's that I feel now beating in my heart? I felt that beat before. What's that I feel now beating in my heart? I feel it more and more. It's the rumble of freedom calling, climbing up to the sky. It's the rumble of the old ways falling. You can feel it if you try. You can feel it if you try. Oh, it's the sound of freedom calling, ringing up to the sky. It's the sound of the old ways falling. You can hear it if you try. You can hear it if you try. You can hear it if you try.
I love learning Phil Oakes songs because generally the songs follow the 1-4-5 G-C-D pattern, except then he starts throwing in E minors and A minors, but then sometimes an A and then sometimes. So it's sometimes you're playing through it and you figure, okay, I've got a lock on this. And then you get to the next verse and he's doing something. He's doing
different.
something else. Yeah. It's lots of fun. It really once you get it, then you realize you are playing something special, and you have to be prepared for what's around the corner. Wonderful Phil Oakes. Thank you so much, Doug Sharon.
Now I'm not sure if you programmed it this way on purpose, but I was just talking about how I love the optimism of Phil Oakes' song, What's That I Hear? And the next song up is an optimistic song that I wrote.
This is your Billy Mumphrey moment?
This is my Billy Mumphrey moment. And it's one that actually, it's one of my newer songs. I just wrote it, is it last year already?
Looks like September 2021 according to the cheat sheet.
Where does the time go?
By the way, did you notice that we had a cheat sheet for Gimme Dat Ding? You wouldn't think that would require one, right?
Oh, but my goodness,
to
it
keep
does.
the gimmies away from the gimme dats and the gimmies and the gimme dats, There was some science involved there and some hard studying. So.
Well, yes, and my memory is not what it used to be. I remember when I was younger, I could just, lyrics would just stick like glue in my memory. And
You know what they say about memory?
They
The
just
first
don't.
thing is you forget names. The second
no,
thing
I don't
is...
think you wanted to. No, oh, I see.
This is a different version.
That's a different version. Okay.
It's nothing like that somebody blows your joke.
I'm sorry.
So you know what they say about memory? The first thing you forget names. The second thing, I forget what it was.
There you go.
See?
I'm sorry I ruined your joke.
I wasn't going to tell the dirty one
No,
on
don't
Facebook, right? Didn't
We'll
wanna
get
lose
banned
our-
or something.
Yeah, didn't want to lose our Girl Scout status.
Now, let me just make sure. I know I have to capo really high, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 up. Wow.
In the nosebleed section there on the
I have to
guitar
I
neck.
have to cut out a little section here for my hand. Is that what those cutaways are for?
I think someone beat you to the idea. But
No. So this song is my optimistic view of the world. Something I kind of am constantly learning from Dwight, that if you look at things differently, it can really make a big difference in how you see them and how you interpret them. And it's something I have to remind myself of a lot. I'll be watching the news and I'll be thinking, oh my goodness, everything's a disaster. But then, sometimes if you look at things through a different lens, it gives you a totally different perspective.
And I think if you need some grounding on it, I always go to American Cinema, Drop Dead Gorgeous. There's a great line in it. These two ladies who are fashion consultants are sitting in a bar just before this fashion contest, this pageant, totally Anyway, one of them says, some people look at this drink and say it's half full. I look at it and say, hey waiter, get me a drink. So that's where I go. Remember that one?
All right, so this song is called This Perfect Day. Some think I'm a dreamer with my head in the sand, but I'm not afraid to take a stand. I will fight for what is right, but I won't let it drag me down. I just put on my rose-colored glasses and see the world this way. Beautiful hues of pink replacing shades of gray, clouds of candy floss raining pink champagne. I can't help but smile on this perfect day. When the news is bad and nothing's going right, and everything becomes a fight, tempers flaring, nobody caring, and it becomes too much to bear. Put on some rose-colored glasses, trust me when I say you will see the world in a different way. Orchards of cherry blossoms, streams of pink lemonade, and just like that, it's a perfect day. Just like that, it's a perfect day. I understand that I can't wear them keep them close at hand for when I'm feeling tense. Nothing makes sense, and I just need to get away. And through my rose-colored glasses, this is what I see. Beauty all around, the way that it should be. It may be temporary, nothing stays the same, but in that moment, it's a perfect day. Put on some rose-colored glasses and see the world this way. Beautiful hues of pink, replacing shades of gray. Clouds of candy floss, raining pink champagne. And you can't help but smile on this perfect day. We can't help but smile on this perfect day. This perfect day. This perfect day.
Yeah.
I hope you're having a perfect day. You know what, something I thought about when we were singing that song is several months ago, Abby's grandmother, Shannon, sent me a picture of Abby wearing rose-colored glasses, and I thought that was such a pretty picture. I have it on my computer, just such a lovely picture, and I hope that that all of her days are perfect days this summer.
That's happening from Bonnie Branford.
From Bonnie Branford.
Which, as we mentioned, is near Bonnie Hamilton, but Hamilton, Ontario.
Hey, we have another new song.
Yeah.
Guys, we've got all sorts of new stuff tonight.
So this one, it's not in the this and that formula, or in the alteration, but we did have a couple of new songs that just had to get out. Now this song, unlike Sue's song about Norm, one of our musical friends who we met back in the free time days, Rick Ross, he's extended some lyrics to me a couple of times. We did one called Folk Songs Hero, and
Folk Song Heroes.
Folk Song Hero.
Yeah.
And about a year ago, at least, he gave me an edition of that time of a song called The Ballad of COVID. Now, obviously, a lot has gone on since that time. So part of it being I hit a musical wall, I think, in the fall, and I just couldn't complete anything. So I finally got out of that, and so we're going to debut a song called The Ballad of COVID. And
So kind of a co-production.
Co-production.
You put it to music.
Rick
wrote
did
the lyrics?
most of the lyrics.
Most
I
of the
was
lyrics.
tweaking and fine-tuning and doing all kinds of things to bring it into context for 2022. But here you go, folks. We've
kinda
got.
fun,
I think
yeah.
you might recognize the tune.
Parts of it, anyway.
Parts of it, yeah. Let me just.
It's called The Ballad of
The Ballad of
COVID-19.
Oh yeah, right. Come listen to a story about the human race. Homo sapiens running Earth's bountiful space. Then one day while we were going on with the flow, we were brought down to our knees by an invisible foe. COVID, that is, variants. Lockdown is sometimes the only way. Unintended consequences are the price we pay. Loneliness, depression, and a waste that's growing wider. 'Cause it's been over a year since I stepped outside. Fresh air, sunshine. Vaccines are the way out of this COVID mess. 2 jabs and 2 boosters are what we need for success. Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca will keep us from being sick in bed. Our homes have become a place to work, sleep, and eat. Being able to have friends over would be a real treat. Using modern technology, we zoom through every day. Now if we miss our life on live screen, we can catch it on replay. Unmute! Frozen screen. Vaccines are the way out of this COVID mess. 2 jabs and 2 boosters are what we need for success. Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca will keep us from being sick in bed. It all started with 1 variant and then there were 2. Then Gamma Delta came along, but we knew what to do. Vaxxes, mask and distancing almost had the battle won. Then we all got kind of slacky with the nasty Omicron. BA2, that is denial. Vaccines are the way out of this COVID mess. 2 jabs and 2 boosters are what we need for success. Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca will keep us from being sick in bed. Vaccines are the way out of this COVID mess. 2 jabs and 2 boosters are what we need for success. Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca will keep us from being sick in bed. COVID, y'all don't come back now. You hear? There we go. Rick, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rick.
For the lyrics, for your patience. Hope you're enjoying it on your walk on a Saturday. Yeah. Thanks, folks. Well, we've had, we've collaborated a few times over the lockdown, and there's more in the hopper, right, Mark? So we are getting to that as well. So over the next few weeks, we hope to have yet another song.
That one we're not altering, we're just learning.
No, we're learning a wonderful song that
Beautiful
one of our
song.
listeners wrote. And as I said to him, why did you give up? You should have given up your day job.
You should have given up your day job and
said,
stayed
"Oh,
a
my
musician."
goodness.
Yeah. Anyway, we will talk more about that when we actually get to that
we'll
song.
talk.
So this next song is
This
when
is a that.
This is a that song.
Yeah.
No, it's a this is a this.
Oh, this
song.
is. Oh, we're into
Yes.
the thises.
And
Okay.
this song Dwight wrote about some high school friends of his who were high school sweethearts, kind of went their separate ways, and then a few years back reunited and now have the rest of their lives together after all of this time.
Just trying to write a bit of a Brian Wilson song with Carl Wilson in mind as the vocalist. I don't think I sing like Carl Wilson, but
You know what? I can
like
barely
it.
hear what you said there, and I'm sitting right beside
it's sort of
you.
a Beach Boy song or Brian Wilson song when I was writing it and thinking of Carl Wilson singing it. And
Oh.
so, yeah, we'll see. But
Would have been
see how-
nice, eh?
Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
When we were young, a life seemed so long, an endless sail out on the sea. Then all at once, years seemed to go by, winds of change blow suddenly. We never thought too far ahead, then they're gone. After all of this time, after all of this time, no longer waiting for you. After all of this
would last an eternity. But then dark clouds appeared off our bow, tore us apart suddenly. Now we somehow have a second chance for all time. After all of this time, after all of this time, no longer waiting for you. After all of this time, after all of this time, like a tide rolling in on the shore, then back out to sea. We're no longer ships in a night. Now you're back here with me. After all of this time, after all of this time, no longer waiting for you. After all of this time, after all of this time,
After all of this time,
after all of this time,
no longer
no
waiting.
longer waiting for you. After all of this time, after all of this time. We've got a really nice version of this on our website. And for you kalimba folks, there's a kalimba quartet on the song. So really nice. It kind of takes that song and you can kind of hear a little bit more about what the vision was for it. And like I say, if you like the kalimba, you're going to like it.
And you can hear that at sueanddwight.com in our
Yes.
little music store. You can drop down the menu, click on it, and you can listen to it right there
It's on
if you
YouTube
like.
as
And it's
well.
on YouTube
Yeah.
and Spotify, I think, isn't it? Is that
Not on
one?
Spotify
No, that one's
yet.
not.
Yeah, we
Oops.
didn't put it up
Okay.
there yet. I still need to find a way to slip a falsetto in there.
Oh, I see. That will be your Beach Boys
That'll be
tribute
my
part.
Carl Wilson tribute.
Well, we are down to the last song of the evening. Boy, the time goes fast, and what an interesting sort of different mix of music we had tonight.
This and that.
This and that,
This
yeah.
and, this and that and this and that.
This and that. But we thought it would be fun to end on a little bit of a sing-along, because we know that a lot of our viewers like to sing along, and this is a song that it's a classic. It's an old traditional song, and Odetta, for example, did a beautiful song of it, version of it, but so many artists did. It's called "This Little Light of Mine," and we thought that would be a great way to end off the show tonight.
Think I'm in E flat for those who are
Playing along. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, we got the light of freedom, and we're gonna let it shine. Oh, we got the light of freedom, and we're gonna let it shine.
Hallelujah.
We got the light of freedom, and we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
One more time, hallelujah.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, well, I hope you were singing along. Well, that brings us to the end of our show tonight, but we have a whole bunch more things going on. If you happen to be in the Toronto area, we're going to be actually doing a live outdoor performance on Friday, which happens to be Canada Day, and our neighborhood is having a community celebration, and we are going to be doing a set of music there with our bass player, Tony, and it's at St. James Park, which is at King and Jarvis, and we're on at 12 noon, and there's a whole afternoon of music planned. It's always a lovely event. We've had the pleasure of playing it for many years now, and so if you happen to be around the area, please come on out.
Now we have a 40-minute set, so 12
Yes.
till 40,
12
noon till 12:40.
Yeah.
So or 12:45 kind of a thing. So we'll be doing it'll be fun. That'll be our first time really doing
At something
a public
in
show
Toronto.
in
Toronto, yeah.
2 years, and our first gig in Toronto in 2 years. So that
Yeah.
should be fun. Yeah.
And we also, this Saturday night is our Super 70s songs show. Who came up with all
Easy for
those
you to say.
S's? Yeah. Super 70s songs. And what we do at that show, if you have never tuned in before, is we sing songs from the 1970s top 40 charts. And we've already had a bunch of requests for songs, so we're working on the set list now and getting that together. So that airs is live at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and all the information's available on Facebook and on our website as well. And then next Wednesday we'll be back with another Living Room Live. We haven't sorted out the theme for that one yet, but we will
Marketing and the
very
programming
shortly.
department, they're busy working. You can hear the typewriters
Hear them back
clattering
there.
while they're trying to figure out our themes for July.
And I
Well, we're
think,
here
and
performing
then
for you.
on the third Friday of July, I did say that Super 70s was on Saturday,
The first
right?
Saturday,
Okay.
yes.
First Saturday of each month, and then on the third Friday of each month, we have our 60s folk sing along, and at that show we sing songs from the 1960s folk scene, and we post the lyrics on this side usually, so you can sing along. And I think that's all
Okay.
the announcements for tonight.
Yeah.
So we hope that you're having a great week, and I think pretty much everyone in North America has a long weekend coming up.
Yes, and a summer. Wow, the
summer
summer's
long
been great. Yeah,
weekend.
we're in Toronto, so the summer's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so far so good.
You know, hey, let's keep it going.
So
Keep
everybody
the mus-
keeps.
and we will be here. Keep the music alive. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll see you again soon. We're going to go make our dinner and read all your comments, which we always enjoy doing. So can't wait to get to that.
Thanks.
So